Hi there, welcome to Recap City. Today, I am going to share a 2019 adventure, drama, romance, science fiction, and thriller movie titled Last Sunrise. Warning, spoilers ahead. Enjoy watching. The movie begins with a voice narrating the current condition the world is experiencing. The narrator states that he lost count of the number of days since the sun collapsed because it's difficult to track without the sun rising. For the last few years, people have exhausted all the fossil fuels available, which results in high demand for solar energy. The narrator laughs as he remembers that people used to believe that no matter what happens today, the sun will rise tomorrow, but that is no longer scientifically accurate. The sun has shut down permanently and the world can't find an alternative source of fuel anymore. The scene is cut to the day it all started. The story begins in a futuristic China, where solar energy is the primary source of everything. Sun Yang is a young man who's woken up by an AI system named Ilsa. Ilsa reminds him to analyze the data from a satellite owned by Helios, a multi-million-dollar company. Helios is the manufacturer of solar power that fuels 3/4 of China. Wang Yun, the head of the Helios company, is praised for being the man who transitioned humanity into the solar generation. After Yang analyzes the data from the Helios satellite, he uploads and updates it on his website. While drinking his coffee, he's bothered to see a strange star which he calls KIC 846 disappear from the solar system. He claims that the recent solar flickering is somewhat connected with the KIC 846 star. Ilsa reminds him that his deduction is not possible since it defies the law of thermodynamics, which states that energy cannot be created or destroyed. In the outside world, solar panels manufactured by Helios are visible on every street and every shop. The company broadcast its solar energy development plan for District 4, the remaining district that Helios wants to take over. The company logo is displayed everywhere. The next day, an emergency notification is set off on Yang's computer that wakes him up. He's alarmed that the sun's heat has dropped by 15% and is continuing to drop rapidly. Ilsa tells him that his assumption about the KIC 846 star was right. He then asks Ilsa to make a call to CEO Wang. Yang confronts him by asking if he's aware of the disappearance of the KIC 846 star, and he admits it. Yang then asks him if the sun has the same fate as the KIC 846 star. But Wang does not answer him but instead asks him about what he would do if the world ends today. Yang responds by saying that he will find a way to survive no matter what. Impressed by his answer, Wang gives him an address and tells him to go there and find him if he survives today. Yang rushes to his neighbor's apartment to get a better view of the sunrise. As he looks into the sun, he sees it flicker. Chen Mu, his neighbor, asks him to leave immediately or she'll call the police. Yang doesn't even blink his eyes as he watches the sun die. The TV stations are also broadcasting the unfolding event, and tells the people that on the other side of the world they are witnessing a flickering moon. Suddenly the flickering starts getting violent and everything goes dark within seconds. Yang goes back to his room as Chen Mu follows him, asking what is going on. He ignores her and asks Ilsa what is going to happen now. Ilsa informs him that the temperature is going to drop to 0 Fahrenheit in a week and -100 Fahrenheit in a year, oxygen will slowly deplete, all forms of life will disappear and the earth will become a frozen planet. Yang asks Chen Mu to leave the city and goes out himself. People are confused and panicking. The grocery store is full of people trying to stock up on supplies, but the cashier cannot check out because of a lack of power. The lights are still working, but they will be out in 24 hours. Yang takes a bottle of water and a map to help him find the location Wang had told him about. On his way out, he is walking through a dark alley, and a mugger hits him unconscious and injures his leg. He then takes his money. When he opens his eyes again, Ilsa announces to him that he has slept for 12 hours and 18 minutes. He rushes back to his apartment and packs his clothes and some instant noodles. Chen Mu is at his door with her backpack, asking for his help to call her parents. Yang tells her there is no way he can help her and asks her to go away. However, when she mentions owning a car, the two decide to travel together. Before starting the journey, Chen Mu makes Yang promise that he will take her to her parents' house after they visit CEO Wang. The two then leave for the place and encounter a large traffic jam on the way. Chen Mu gets out of the car to go to the washroom, and Yang takes this opportunity to drive away but is stopped by a crowd. When she is back, she asks her why he is not in the place they parked, and he lies, saying that he was making a U-turn. The two finally reach Wang's home at night and meet other people who happen to be stranded there. They drink around the fire, while a socially anxious Yang stays in a corner. Later, his watch runs out of battery and Ilsa stops talking to him. The death of the AI robot saddens Yang, as she was his only friend. Chen Mu notices this and tries to comfort him. The two talk and bond. Later when they wake up, Yang asks Wang what his plan is. Since Wang is a billionaire, Yang believes that he has a way to survive. To his distress, Wang claims that this situation is beyond repair. He wants to stay in the place until death comes. According to Wang, a highly advanced civilization from far in space is harvesting energy from other stars and simultaneously terminating life on other planets. This time, the Earth is their target and they have been successful. A wormhole has been created in the center of the solar system, and with a lack of gravity, all the planets will soon fly away from the system including the Earth. In the end, Wang gives Yang the coordinates of a location of District 4, and tells him he should go there if he really wants to survive. When Chenmu wakes up, the two continue their journey. The temperature has fallen exponentially so much that Yang's bottle of water freezes. Chenmu notices a space shuttle taking off, and Yang comments that it might be rich people trying to fly away to another planet to stay alive. He drives Chenmu to her parents' home as promised, and continues his journey to the place Wang told him about. However, he notices Chenmu had left her plant in her car and goes back to return it. When he gets there, he finds a distressed Chenmu alone in the house. She doesn't speak a word, unlike her usual talkative self. All of the people of the town had left in the time of emergency. We see the fish aquarium in the house is freezing. Yang goes inside a room and is horrified to see both her parents dead in the bed. He takes a letter from her father's hand and brings it back to Chenmu. It turns out that they were preparing for Chenmu's arrival before the death of the sun. As they wrote her the letter asking her to take care of herself in the city, a group of thugs entered the house and killed both of them. Chenmu breaks down crying when Yang tells her that he too is an orphan and doesn't know who his parents are. He asks her to come with him to District 4, the place Wang told him about. The two then continue their journey. After a while, they reach District 3 and are surprised how the map brought them the wrong way. Their car's battery is dying, so they go a little forward, and see a house selling electricity. When they go in, an old couple welcomes them and claims they have electricity that they extract from coal. However, the woman then locks Chenmu inside the washroom and snatches the car keys from Yang. They apologize as they take the car and drive away. Chenmu and Yang are in distress. They are close to District 4, but Yang's leg injury from the time the thug hit him is getting worse. He tells Chenmu to go there alone, but she insists she won't leave without Yang. After much thinking, they make their way to District 4 on foot. On their way, they rest for a while feeding on instant noodles and watching the beautiful and cruel night sky. Without the sunlight, it looks astonishingly beautiful. When they reach the city area again, they find their car deserted by the side of the road. But just then, a group of mine workers comes looking for them. To save Chenmu, Yang turns himself in. They take him to their headquarters and keep him as one of the mine workers to extract coal. Chenmu however doesn't give up and goes to rescue Yang with just a pepper spray. She manages to free him from the place, but Yang gets shot in the process. When they are back in the car, Chenmu drives to District 4 at full speed, hoping to save Yang. They stop at District 4's entrance, and Yang realizes that the place has geothermal energy that can save them. They continue their journey and see the car's windows and the road starting to freeze. They do not have a lot of time, but just then their car runs out of battery and stops. Yang jokes that Chenmu is spending her last minute on Earth with him and she laughs. With a single oxygen tank and Yang wounded, the two decided to stay together in the back seat, holding each other's hand. After a while, Chenmu checks on Yang by calling his name but he is not answering. Assuming that he's gone, Chenmu cries on his shoulder and falls asleep while freezing. Sometime later, a car passed by but returns to check for any survivors. It turns out that they are actually searching for them. They move the unconscious Yang and Chenmu into their car and they all drive to a safe place in District 4. In the end, a voice is heard narrating that the Earth is currently voyaging into the vastness of interstellar space, but miraculously moving on a correct trajectory into the neighbor Alpha Centauri star system. It also added that in the Earth's new home, there will be 3 suns waiting for them. Help us grow this channel. Subscribe for more videos every day, turn on notifications and leave a like and a comment. Thank you for watching. See you at the next one.